What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another collab video. Hope you guys are enjoying the Oxygen review that I had just done yesterday. We have a ton of stuff to get through today. There's a lot of stuff that came out in the world of film, and we're going to discuss all of it and give you guys my thoughts on them because, man, oh man, a lot of stuff has happened as of late. Um, so we're going to get through all this stuff today, and we're going to talk about each thing individually. And let's just do it because there's a lot of stuff to get through, and mostly a lot of trailers. There's a lot of trailers that came out. So let's just dive right in. So first things first. You guys are probably wondering, why am I switching like locations all the time? Um, I could tell you that this is my new room. I could tell you that for first. There's still some setups that I have to get done. So, like last night, I filmed the excuse me, I almost yawned. Um, Last night I had filmed the Oxygen review, and that was somewhere over there. And it didn't look that great. And there was some noise in the background, so excuse me for the faulty review. But everything I said in that review is still genuine, though. And I still think it was a thrilling experience, and I highly recommend you go watch Oxygen. It's on Netflix. Um, but eventually, I will find some way for the setup to work. I will find something within this room to make it work, to make it look more plausible and more appealable. So until then, though, we're just going to keep jumping back and forth. I'm probably going to be sitting here most of the time, or as I said before, we could just go back to my car and do stuff from there. So, but anyway, anyway, though, we're still going to we're still going to do the videos and still talk about the stuff. Um, so let's just dive right in because there's a bunch of stuff to get through, and we're going to just go through all the trailers that have happened this week. And the first one right off the bat, the big one of the week, that I think everyone was, excuse me, I just woke up, so sorry. But the first one that happened this week was, of course, the Venom trailer. We've been waiting for the Venom trailer. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. The first trailer has finally came out. We've been kind of anticipating a trailer for a while. Starring, of course, Tom Hardy, Woody Harrelson, and Michelle Williams, all coming back. Directed by the great Andy Serkis, the great performer that is Andy Serkis. And give me 1 second. Actually, yeah, give me 1 quick second. Sorry about that. I had to go talk to a friend real quick. But anyways, so where was I? I think the Venom trailer, yeah. So, in talking about the Venom trailer, so I think it's better to lay out my feelings about the first Venom film first. So, first off, who thought that movie was going to make the money that it made? It was a monster at the box office. It made like over $800 million, so it's made crazy money. So of course it was going to get a sequel. I don't think most people thought the movie was going to make as much money as it did. And the reason, God, I'm tired. I'm sorry. The reason that it made all that money is because the audience really ate this movie up. Because critically it didn't do as well, but the audience seemed to have really got themselves attached to Venom, and and they really liked the film, and they really liked the tone, the atmosphere of it. More or less, though, they thought it was just a fun film, and they enjoyed just the silliness of it. And well, now we have the sequel. Within the trailer, at least, it seems like they're capitalizing on the silliness because this is definitely a more humorous trailer and a more humorous environment than the first Venom was, at least according to the trailer. And to be honest with you, even though, because to summarize my thoughts on Venom, I thought it was fine. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it as much as everyone else did. I thought it was okay. Completely mediocre. I think that's the best word for it. And I have to say that even though visually I think that the first Venom looks better, because I just think the cinematography from what it looks like in Venom 2 looks to be kind of generic. But I have to say though that I think that the tone just think is a little bit more better than the first one, at least from the trailer. Um, and I think that Tom Hardy also looks a little bit tired in this trailer. I think he looked a little bit more engaged in the first film. Um, but I have to say that obviously the highlight of the trailer is seeing Carnage, and I have to say that Woody Harrelson looks like he's having fun, but the Carnage look, I personally think looks fine. I was hoping for a little bit more of a um, I don't know. I was looking for a little bit more of a slimmer, more sleeker design, but it looks like more like a red Venom, and I know that that in essence that's what Carnage is, but um, I was hoping for a little bit more of a different design. But we're just, I mean, my other question is, will this movie make the money that the first Venom did? Obviously, we're in a pandemic, so probably it's not going to make those numbers. But the company is hoping that it will. This is pretty much their big. They're hoping to be their big money makers from Sony Pictures. This is what they're hoping to be their big money maker this year. Comes out on September 24th, so around the same time I believe Shang-Chi comes out, which we'll see how that goes. But um, yeah, I think the first trailer was okay. I think it looked okay at best, and um, I'm I still will go see it, but I'm just not as excited to see it as some people are. Um, but again, it's probably based on your enjoyment of the first film that will maybe um, maybe have you love or dislike the trailer. So, and for me, I found the movie to be okay, so therefore I find the trailer to be okay, but also better in some respects. So, or at least there are some potential things that are better. So, all right. So moving on from the Venom trailer, let's get into the next trailer, which is the Netflix film called Fatherhood. Um, this is a new Kevin Hart film. Now, immediately when I say a new Kevin Hart film, you immediately think brand new comedy, brand new, probably kind of throwaway type thing. It's actually a drama. This is Kevin Hart's, I believe, his second big outing for a drama, because the first time he ever did like a legit drama of some kind, I think, was The Upside with Bryan Cranston, which I thought was fine. I didn't think anything. I didn't think the movie was bad. I think that, again, it's kind of like similar to Venom. Was like fine. Um, but now he has a film called Fatherhood. It stars him, Kevin Hart, Alfred Woodard, and Lily Rare Howry. I probably just butchered those names. I do apologize. Directed by Paul Witz, who directed the American Pie, and about a boy. And it comes out on June 18th, 2021. It tells a story of it has the title suggests, a father taking care of his daughter after their mother had unfortunately passed away due to an accident or certain circumstances, and it's now up to Kevin Hart to make sure his daughter is taken care of and given the life that she deserves. And um, I have to say, really the one thing that attracted me from the trailer is this is surprising to me, because I did not expect to say this, um, but I have to say Kevin Hart. Now, let me just say this. I'm not personally a big fan of his comedy. I'm not a big fan of his comedy. I think that it's kind of repetitive in nature. Um, and some of the jokes land, some of the jokes are funny, but most of the time it's the same quips, it's the same energy, and I'm just not as I don't find that as funny as I used to. So I've just kind of not been interested in his comedy for a while. Um, but but I have to say, um, I do appreciate more or less now than then when comedians get their dip into something serious, like John Krasinski with Quiet Place, which we'll talk about later today, or Jordan Peele with Get Out or in Us, or Eddie Murphy with uh, some of his films from the past, like more recently with Dolomite Is My Name, which is more or less a comedy, but it has its moments. Um, Fatherhood is looking to be something for Kevin Hart to show off a little bit of range for, and I have to say, based on the trailer, I'm surprisingly saying this. I think he's improving. I think he's actually improving because his first outing for a drama with The Upside, I thought he did okay in. I thought he was fine. But in Fatherhood, I'm not saying he looks amazing, but he looks like he's improving. And um, I'm very happy to see the growth. And I personally will check it out. Just because that is pretty much what's catching me is, seeing Kevin Hart improving as a performer. So that will propel me to see the film. The rest of the film, though, looks like a 50-50. I mean, some of it looks like it could be just charming fun, and the rest of it, the other half looks like it could be just disposable. It could fall into the trap of being just a very cliched piece, or it could be something that is cliched but has its meaningful moments. I'm kind of torn, but I think that what is going to keep me afloat to watch the film is Kevin Hart. So I think I will go see it because I do want to see how Kevin Hart does as a performer, more or less now in another drama, and see how he's improving because the trailer showed me that he is improving. So we'll see. We'll see. Comes out on June 18th, 2021 on Netflix, so we'll see what happens. So, all right. First, the next trailer we're going to talk about is for a movie called Stillwater. For anybody who has been anticipating this film, it stars Matt Damon, and it is directed by Tom McCarthy, the guy who gave you Spotlight, which I love Spotlight. And it has a release date of July 30th, 2021 in theaters, so not coming out in any streaming platform. I will say this. Stillwater, at least based on what the trailer is about, it's about a father who is trying to get his daughter out of prison for a crime that she may or may not have committed. So it's kind of like, horror is my thing. So Tom McCarthy, I have not seen anything else of his besides Spotlight. I know he directed some Disney project. I think it was called like Timmy Failure. I think that's what it was called. And I heard it was got some good reviews. But I personally thought the trailer looked... I was a little disappointed by the trailer. I think that's the best way I can say it. Because I was expecting a certain tone from the trailer. And I was expecting a certain environment, a certain style. And I didn't get that. And what I got instead was something that just felt extremely, extremely familiar and borderline generic. And especially just the trailer itself, the trailer itself, how it was edited, it was a little choppy for me. It was also a little just bland in terms of atmosphere. So I was a bit disappointed by the trailer. I didn't think it was that great. Matt Damon looks promising, but I don't know, the trailer just didn't really hook me that much, and I was hoping for a little bit more, how should I say it? What Spotlight did so well was how it was able to ground itself in reality. I was hoping that Stillwater would do the same thing. It just feels like a generic thriller, and I'm not happy to feel that way. So hopefully, the movie will turn out great. Hopefully it's just a bad trailer. Because remember, guys, we've had bad trailers for great movies, and we've had great trailers for bad movies. So, it's totally plausible that this movie can end up being great. But, I just for a first trailer, I was kind of disappointed. It just wasn't as great of a trailer as I was hoping it would be. But, again, I think Matt Damon looks promising in it. But... and also because the fact that it is Tom McCarthy directing it, and Matt Damon starring, I will go see it. It'll be in theaters, so. But I don't know, just I did not think the trailer was all that great. So now, the last trailer we're going to talk about today is actually personally my favorite trailer of the bunch, which is we have a brand new trailer for The Green Knight. Of course, starring Dev Patel, Alicia Vikander, Joel Egerton, directed by David Loyer, who is the director of Pete's Dragon and A Ghost Story. Comes out the same day as Stillwater, also in theaters. And I have to say, man, listen, I've seen a lot of trailers over the past few years, and the one trailer that I would say, as of late, that I really dug and really gets me excited for their film is The Batman. That was the one trailer that I think really got me excited and hyped for their film. Well, we have found another trailer that has got me super hyped for their film, The Green Knight. This trailer was awesome. I loved this trailer. There are so many things to love about it. So much promise. The cinematography looks gorgeous. Like the visual landscapes, the way that it looks just looks beautiful. I love the atmosphere I'm feeling from this movie. It has the psychological feel to it. It also has of course, the Arthurian scope and tale that it's going to represent. I love the cast assembled, and the production design just looks great. I love the way this production design looks, and I'm hoping so that this movie is great, because I personally think David Loyer is a solid filmmaker. Once again, Pete's Dragon, I think, is the best of the live-action Disney films. A Ghost Story is a beautiful film that I think a lot of people have not seen. So if you have not seen it, please watch it. I think he is a solid filmmaker, so I am very excited for this. Besides A Quiet Place Part 2, this is my most anticipated film of the year. I am that excited for The Green Knight. So, the Green Knight trailer was great. I loved it. And if you have not seen the trailer, please go watch it. It is so, so good. Really, really love that trailer. And I really, more or less what I'm excited for is just the way that they're handling the Arthurian tale, because I didn't necessarily think that they were going to commit to the mythical elements. Like there's a talking fox in the trailer. There's these giant people walking around. And I didn't think that they would commit to those degrees, and I'm very happy that they are. And I'm very excited to see how this all plays to Dev Patel's character, the psychological elements that will be represented. And I'm just really, really excited. This trailer really, really got me hyped for the film. So yeah, guys, The Green Knight, cannot wait. Comes out July 30th. Really, really excited for that. Okay, guys, so we now have 4 more things to talk about. They're all news-related topics. So now we're just going to jump right into the first one, which happened this morning. Jungle Cruise. We've been wondering what's the fate of Jungle Cruise. We've been kind of, what's been going on with Jungle Cruise. Stuff that's been going on with it. It was going to go in theaters, and the Disney investor call happened, and then we kind of still don't know what happens with Jungle Cruise. Well, now we know the fate of Jungle Cruise, which is this. It's unfortunate, but here's what's happening. It's becoming a hybrid release. Yay. So once again, we are getting another hybrid release from another tentpole, and that will be Jungle Cruise. It is now being released on July 30th of this year, and it is now a hybrid release, so it's now going to be on Disney Plus with Premier Access and in theaters. So once again, Disney doesn't have fate. They will make their money back, and I think paying $30 on Disney Plus will attract people to watch this movie. To which I say, again, no, I don't think it's going to be the benefit. Hey, and you know what? Perhaps, just throwing it out there, maybe they also don't have faith in Jungle Cruise. Maybe they also really don't have faith in Jungle Cruise to be received well. So perhaps they just think that it's better off on Disney Plus. But I'm thinking that they have the same rationale that they do with Black Widow, which is that they just don't have as much faith that people will be coming back to the theater for that movie to make their money back. So as a safeguard, they're putting it on Disney Plus to make their money back. But unfortunately, that is not a safeguard. People are not going to come to watch the Jungle Cruise for $30. They will for Black Widow because there's an audience for it, and people will go watch Black Widow on Disney Plus if they have that liberty to, because people are more anticipated and more excited for Black Widow than they are for Jungle Cruise. So Black Widow has that benefit. I still think you're going to lose money on Black Widow, but not as much as you are for Jungle Cruise, because Jungle Cruise, I believe, does need to be a theatrical release. It could have been one of those films that could have attracted people to come back to the theater, but now you're putting it on Disney Plus for $30. I think that now the appeal is kind of weird. So, yeah, I don't think it was a smart move, but whoops. But I don't think it was a smart move. But again, I don't know why Disney thinks that this Premier Access strategy is such a great idea. I mean, Mulan failed, Raya and the Last Dragon failed, Black Widow. Even though I still say Black Widow will probably prove this to be a success, there's still a likelihood this can also fail. And now we have Jungle Cruise, which I do believe will fail. I don't believe that Jungle Cruise has the backing. Has the backing to make their money. So, yeah, I don't think that Jungle Cruise is going to work under this $30 system. And I think people are going to be very, very. They're not going to be appealed by that price. For Black Widow, perhaps. Jungle Cruise, no. So I think it's both they don't have much faith in the project, and that they just don't have faith in it for that project to make money in theaters. So they're hoping now on Disney Plus that they might be able to make some money off of it. To which I say, I don't think so. I think that their original plan was going to make them money, maybe not a lot of money, but some money. This is now putting yourself in a much more smaller chance of making money off Jungle Cruise. So, maybe it'll work. I don't know, but I think all the signs prove otherwise. So. Okay, so there's that. And then some of the stuff that happened throughout the week. We have our first look image at Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese's next film, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Jesse Plemons. Got a first look image of it, and looks interesting. I mean, the only thing that still has me iffy about the project is the fact that it's still a $200 million budget project, and that Apple TV Plus hopes to make their money off of it. Because there's a reason why this movie's not being distributed by Netflix. Remember, Martin Scorsese was originally supposed to have this film set for Netflix. Netflix said, no, we're not doing this project anymore. Why? Because the $200 million ask, we're not doing that no more. We did that with Irishman. The Irishman flopped, so we're not going to be doing that here. So then Apple sweeped them up, and I'm hoping Apple has confidence that this movie will make money, because you have Leonardo DiCaprio, so I mean that might hopefully get you some asses in seats, or asses on streaming platform. But generally speaking, though, I just think that the hope is that, or how should I say this? I just don't have confidence that the budgets that Martin Scorsese asked will be getting you the money back. I just don't think that this movie will make its money back. It doesn't have, because Martin Scorsese unfortunately does not have the leverage or the appeal as, say, a Spielberg does. Because I've said this before, Martin Scorsese is not a Steven Spielberg as of our times. And I just think that the movie might very much well not make money back, and that's unfortunate, but we shall see. Obviously, the movie might be great. Who knows? It's Martin Scorsese. I mean, but this has likelihood to not make money. So, but anyways, the first picture looks fine. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio looks interesting in it. I still think that Jesse Plemons, Robert De Niro, and Leonardo DiCaprio, I still believe they're all playing the same character. I still believe they are playing the same character. I think this is a movie that's going to be told throughout the years. And I think that Jesse Plemons, Robert De Niro, and Leonardo DiCaprio, they're all playing different ages of the same character. So that's just my theory. But, I'm looking forward to it. Don't know much about it. I heard it's kind of based off a true story. It's based off of a something about an oil thing. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. I'll just wait for a trailer to come out. But um, but there you go. So all right, the last two topics are about sequels. First of which is one that we've mentioned a little bit earlier, which was A Quiet Place 2. Of course, A Quiet Place Part 2 is coming out later this month. And For those who don't know, Paramount has cut the theatrical windows for their films in half because now their films are now going to be coming out through Paramount Plus after their 45-day window. And A Quiet Place Part 2 is among those movies to be going into that system. Well, unfortunately, with that, because a lot of these films sign a 90-day theatrical window agreement and then get back-end deals through that, and apparently Paramount is not paying the Quiet Place Part 2 cast and crew proper because they signed, of course, the 90-day theatrical window agreement and the payment that came with it. It's a contractual agreement. It's signed in paper. But apparently Paramount is denying the agreement and is not giving them the money that they are owed. Because according to reports, Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, and Michael Bay are currently in talks with Paramount to get the money that they are owed through their original contract, and apparently Paramount is denying their request. Now, when I first heard the story, I thought this was an instance of them wanting more money because I thought that they had gotten the money that they had gotten, and they're just asking for more money. To which I said to a friend of mine that I think is ridiculous. Actors shouldn't be asking for more money. Contractually you get the money that you get, and that should be it. But this is a case where the actors are not being paid proper because under circumstances that we are in, Paramount just is not giving them their money, even though that they have signed the contract for the 90-day theatrical window, and they are owed that amount of money otherwise. Because once you sign that type of agreement, that's the money that you get. It doesn't matter what happens to the film's window. It doesn't matter where the movie goes. You're still owed that money at the end of the day. And apparently Paramount is saying, no, we're not paying you that amount of money. We'll pay you this amount, but not that amount. And to that I say that is ridiculous. Okay, because you have signed an agreement. Okay, that's bare bones what happened. You signed an agreement together, and under circumstances, it doesn't matter. You are still owed that amount of money, and you still owe the cast and crew that money. So I hope that they get their money. I hope that they get the money that they are owed, because I don't care what circumstances we're under. You are still owed the amount of money that was signed upon and agreed upon. Like, let's just say, like I had a movie out there for a certain company, and I was owed $10 million, right? And then under the pandemic, that cost got sliced in half. That's basically what's happening with The Quiet Place Part 2. They're getting at least I'm just theorizing, half of what they're supposed to be getting. And that's not good for John, Emily, and Michael. They need their full money. Because they also have their own financing going on because John and Emily are a couple, so they have to pay off certain dues. Michael is also a person; he has to pay off his own dues. So to not give the money that they are owed, that's not good for them. So they need to get their money back, and I hope that they get it because I think that's kind of slimy for Paramount to not be giving them their money proper. So hopefully they get it, and I think that's just bad business practice to go against your cast and crew like that. If you ever sign a contract like that, know that you have to pay that money regardless. Doesn't matter what circumstance you're in. So I hope that Paramount understands that and they do end up getting their money. Yeah, I am still also very excited for A Quiet Place Part 2. I'm very excited to see that film. And it's not like A Quiet Place Part 2, like from all accounts, I mean, the ticket sales, I don't know how they have performed, but hoping that Quiet Place Part 2, and I heard from an analyst too, that the film might do business. This film might actually do fairly good at theaters. And Paramount is hoping that too. This is their big moneymaker this year. Besides, I think Top Gun Maverick is still coming out this year. So they're relying on this to be their big like summer blockbuster. Also Snake Eyes as well. But yeah, for them not getting their money is kind of ridiculous. So I hope that they do get their money and that they are paid proper, because you signed a contract and you're owed. So that's pretty much what the bare bones of it. So, but all right, our last topic, excuse me, our last topic for today is Knives Out 2. We have been wondering the status on Knives Out 2 ever since the massive deal that happened with Netflix, and now we have a little bit of a knowing of who is going to be in the movie. So Daniel Craig, we know, is coming back, but now we have Dave Bautista, Edward Norton, and Janelle Monáe have now been signed on to appear in Knives Out 2. We don't know who else is in the film. Assumedly, we're going to know a little bit more because the filming starts next month in Greece. So we're probably going to know a lot more this week or next week on who's in the film. Really enjoyed the first Knives Out. I thought the first Knives Out was a very, very fun film. And I'm looking forward to what they do with the other two films in this series. And this cast so far sounds great. This cast so far sounds very promising, and I'm interested to know who else is in the film. And I just think the first Knives Out was just a lot of fun, and a lot of, I think the writing on it was just solid, and I'm excited to know what they do with this. Hopefully it's not just a retread. I want there to be a new idea, a new mission, and I don't want this to be another I mean, obviously it will be a whodunit, but I want there to be different circumstances, different such and such. I don't want it to just be a different location, a different change of scenery, like they're doing for Murder on the Orient Express. I don't want that to be the case. I want this to, or Death on the Nile, I mean. I want this to be, have a little bit more involved and distinct than just having a different location. So hopefully that's not the case for this film. But the cast sounds promising, and we'll hear more in due time. So very soon, actually. So that is it for this video, guys. We talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about Venom 2. We talked about The Green Knight, which I am so excited for. We talked about Jungle Cruise and a bunch of other things. You guys let me know your thoughts on all this stuff in the comments below. And yeah, so that's it for this video, guys. I'm going to do a ton of reviews this week. We got a lot of movies coming out this weekend. So you'll be seeing a lot of reviews on this channel. And you just saw my Oxygen review, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And I'm not sure what the next review will be, but definitely a lot of films coming out. One of which I saw recently, Thunder Force. Yeah, we'll do a review on that. Lots of reviews coming out this weekend, so check out all those when they come out. And just let me know your thoughts on all these topics. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. We will definitely get a proper setup in this room eventually, so just bear with me. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you guys are being safe out there. Stay safe, stay protected, wash your hands. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Have an amazing day, guys, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.